everyone. Welcome to your Mercury Retrograde reading. It's me here, Krystal Clear. Happy to deliver to you this Mercury Retrograde season's reading. So Mercury Retrograde is happening, its peak of its retrograde is August 4th through the 27th. And then it's in like Mercury retro shade until September 11th. So that just means like it starts to gain speed, but isn't at full speed until September 11th. But between the August 4th and August 27th, Mercury will be the furthest from the earth. It'll slow its speed down and it will actually travel back and forth through Virgo and through the constellation of Leo. So definitely highlighting our self-care practices, our requirements in relationships, and then also look to your charts to see where Mercury is, what's going on with Leo and Virgo. I'd be happy to give you a personal reading if you're interested. But for now, let's get into your pick an owl, pick your message. So just take a moment, if you haven't already, to meditate on which message you would like to receive. This first owl, the second owl, or the third owl. So hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, owls. Okay, good. So hopefully you took that minute there. And what I did was I also separated my tarot cards into major arcanas and the swords, because Mercury rules our communication and our expression, and that is the swords suit. I added those, and the major arcanas to see what with communication will you be experiencing this Mercury retrograde. So if you picked card 1, this is your reading on how Mercury retrograde is going to affect, well, I should say owl 1, how Mercury retrograde will affect you. So let's jump into it. For those of you who picked owl 1, we've got the Justice card, 5 of Swords, and the Devil. Okay, so let's see if we get some balance there. Okay, if you picked the first owl, the 3 cards that have come up is the Justice, the 5 of Swords, and the Devil. I do feel for those of you who picked this first owl, it's likely you may receive some information that contradicts what you previously thought was true. You may open up to some feelings or to some awareness that you hadn't thought before, see things from a different perspective. And this different perspective, this new information that comes in, or this shift in information that you found, I do feel that it will challenge some either connections with others, or it will challenge your connection with yourself. Like it kind of makes you doubt or makes you really look into your shadow work at this time to see like, what is this picking up for me? What is this triggering within me? So I do feel for those of you who picked this first owl, the awareness that comes in is around the truth being told. So first and foremost with the Justice card, this is all about the truth. It is balancing 2 sides of a story, or it's honoring the mind and the heart, right? It's balancing the 2 parts to the human experience. So I do feel that your truth, figuring out what is your truth and what's important to you regardless of what everyone else is doing or what everyone else's truth is, that really comes to light. And I do feel that it will contradict either something that you've previously thought, or a perspective that you've previously had shifts, or even if you've had a shared belief or a shared truth with someone who's a significant relationship to you, that has shifted or changed, and that causes a little bit of confusion is the best way to say it. There's an uncertainty. This Mercury retrograde will bring some confusion to clear, or to be cleared, to focus on clearing. And so finally with the Devil, this just indicates that it pulls up some shadow work. It pulls up some triggers, makes you feel some sort of way. This Mercury retrograde, you might find like you're just I don't know, it's like you against Mercury retrograde. This one might be challenging for you, but you'll make it through just like you have all of the others. With this new information coming through, I'm going to pull 2 cards for Spirit's advice. But first and foremost, in channeling Spirit's advice from this message, it's best for you to just find what this shift of perspective is for you and, write it down somewhere, make a physical representation of it. I want to say something like a dream board, but this is like your vision. This is like your, has something to do with your belief system. So you can make a physical representation of it. You can write a letter that like states like your mission almost, or it can be a letter to yourself, but to do something with a physical representation of this truth to help you bring it to light, to help you anchor in your truth. So that's first and foremost. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. We'll pull 2 cards as to how you can navigate this Mercury retrograde with this truth coming to light. So we've got act as if your partner is here. So whether you have a partner in your life or not, basically act as how you want life to be. Not even so much just partner. But again, I do feel like there's someone else that this perspective shift happens with. So for the 2 of you to just show up in your best self, like how would you like to see this go between you and another person, or as you share your beliefs or you have a conversation about the difference of beliefs, how would you like that to go? Take some time to visualize that. Just as you're visualizing what this perception, what this truth looks like for you, anyone that you're going to share it with, take time to see, well, like, how would I do that? How would I communicate that? What would I say? And then practice it. I'm going to pull one more card, but Spirit's like, practice it, because it's something that's important for you to say, or if it's something important for you to speak on. If you don't like just practice it, like in the car or in a mirror, and get it past your lips, then when you need to say it, when you need to stand by it, it's going to be like so much pressure behind your lips. I hope that makes sense. But to just practice getting it out there. All right, let's see one more card. And we've got new love. And I did feel like it's almost like if you're going to tell someone I love you for the first time, like practice how it feels coming out your mouth before you say it. It says embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This can pertain to work opportunities and also spiritual growth. So of course, not just needing to be about relationships or about romance, but this, to be fair, is a general reading, so find your resonance with it. But if you pulled this first card, this could absolutely be a very exciting time where someone may be thinking about telling their person their feelings for them and to deepen the connection. And even that can be scary. And that's what the devil is about. It like it picks up some of your vulnerabilities. It's not necessarily that this has to be a hard conversation, although for some of you this might be a confusing and hard time as well. Just remember that this is a general reading and find the resonance where it is. So I hope this helps as you navigate the retrograde season. Remember, that's from August 4th to the 27th is the height of it. Mercury's traveling through Virgo and Leo. Check your chart, see how it lines up. And if you have any questions, please let me know. If we vibe, please subscribe to the channel. Help me grow. I appreciate it more than you know. So thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing you all the best blessings and love always. Take care. Hi there. If you picked Owl 2, this is your message for Mercury Retrograde, which is happening August 4th to August 27th, 2024. Mercury will travel through Leo and Virgo. So take a look at your chart to see how that lands and let me know if you have any questions. But for now, let's get started with, I'm going to pull, I've got swords and major arcanas here to pull for you. I'm going to pull 3 cards for your Mercury retrograde experience. Swords is all about communication, and the major arcana is it highlights the areas of our life. So I'm going to be holding the intention that for those who picked Owl number 2, that your message for your Mercury retrograde is in this direction. So let's see what we've got. So first we have the Death Rebirth card. We've got Strength, and 10 of Swords. Okay, so if you picked the second owl, Death, Strength, Swords. For some of you, I feel like this is first and foremost work, job related, where you're leaving either your workplace or it could be also community, because I feel like there's multiple people involved in this. So it's some sort of community. It could be within your where you live, if you live in a community, or the people you live with. And of course, it can be family and friends, but it felt first and foremost work related, shifting either a place of employment, or if you have been thinking about changing jobs or growing in your position, I do feel that there are things that will be coming to an end this August, and that by the end of August, you'll actually have opportunity ahead of you, opportunity for either a new position or a new job, or if it's with your community, there's like a new focus. So your family, your friends, or where you live, there's a new focus for like the group. Maybe if it's been really catty and gossipy, there's some clearing there that happens. But there's a positive shift within these groups that you are part of if you pick the second owl. So first and foremost, with the Death Rebirth card, there is that ending happening. So I do feel like the way that August, which is the Strength card, absolutely represents August. It's card number 8. It is the Leo card. So I love that it's coming up. I feel like for those of you that picked the second owl, it'll be a significant Mercury retrograde for you. But nonetheless, the beginning of August and the end of August is almost like a completely different month for you. That there's a lot of closure that happens and things coming to completion. And it's in a really positive direction. With this Strength card, it's in the direction of where you want energy to be amplified, or where you've been putting in the work, you've been putting in the energy. This is where it is being amplified. You're being supported on the growth that you're looking for. So if this is in a relationship, or this is in how you feel at your job or your place of employment, like if you're just needing a little bit more, Spirit is like, you are feeding that. So you're intensifying that. You've been working on that, and Spirit is acknowledging that. And it strengthens here so much in August that by the end of the month, there will be those completions and closures, and every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, right? There will be some feelings with the closure, but nothing that, you'll be so strong and so ready for this next chapter that comes, that it will help give you the strength to move forward from this cycle and to create and to start something new. So I do feel that for you, for the second owl, how you start August and how you end the month of August will be very different. There will be such opportunity for you by the end of August. And it feels mostly work related, community related, something like that. All right, so I'm going to pull 2 cards here for Spirit's channeled message as to how you can work with this retrograde season. But for to start with Spirit's channeled message, really look to where your focuses are. So this retrograde, Mercury travels through, I believe it's Virgo first and then Leo. So look to your daily practices. What are your daily practices? Because this is happening on a much bigger level, of course, but there's always something that we can control. And Spirit is highlighting, look to your daily practices. Where can you have maybe a stronger or amplified or deeper emotional wellness routine, or spiritual routine, or daily hygiene, or physical wellness? Like, what part of your life can you be maybe a bit more disciplined with the schedule that you have, and see where you can kind of up your game? That is what Spirit is showing me first and foremost as how you can work with this Mercury retrograde. But let's pull 2 cards here and see what else Spirit has to say. So we've got turn on your heart lights. Allow yourself in this moment to reflect on a time when you experienced love. And we've got miracle and blessings. Everything has a gift. So that definitely feels like that micro, macro level. Everything has a gift. So just as everything is happening on this larger scale where you're making these really big moves and changes, things can also happen on this smaller scale, and that these small changes lead to big changes as well. So definitely look, I feel like this confirms that message, to definitely look to your daily practices, but also turn on your heart light, like to allow yourself to receive. I feel like because you have been working so hard, that when there is closure, the next thing is to receive. So you're going to get this closure. You'll receive these opportunities. And it's up to you to really accept the yes that it brings into your life. So I hope that this helps you navigate your journey through Mercury retrograde. And definitely take a look at your chart, see where Mercury and Virgo and Leo is, what's going on there. I'm happy to help, but hopefully this does help as you navigate your Mercury retrograde season. If we vibe, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and I'm wishing you all the very best. Blessings and love always. Take care. Okay, hey there. If you picked owl number 3, this is your message for Mercury retrograde, which will be happening August 4th, 2024 through August 27th. And there's a little bit of retro shade there until September 11th, but basically Mercury will be rocking and rolling by the end of August in forward motion. And it'll be traveling through Virgo and Leo. So take a look at your chart and how all of that connects. I'm here to help if you want to dive into that personally. But you picked Owl 3, and so you have a message here from Spirit as you navigate Mercury retrograde. Let's take a look at what it is. I separated my tarot deck into swords and major arcanas, really focusing in on just communication and the awareness that we need to know at this time. So for you, let's see what we've got. We have the 6 of Swords. We've got Ace of Swords. We've got a 3 of Swords. Okay, for those of you who picked 3, we've got some healing to do. This Mercury retrograde is going to focus on where maybe there is some grief that you are still lingering on to, or that is just still very heavy. When the wave comes in, it feels almost unbearable. For some of you, maybe there's something that's not working out in the right time that you had thought it would, or maybe it feels like a chapter has closed or ended. The 6 of Swords tells me that there's healing from some heartache. It reads a little bit differently. The 6 of Swords, there's healing from some heartache, and in order to do that, the Ace of Swords is needed. This new perspective forward. It's like this month will be very quiet. I would say this Mercury retrograde season, it's not quite a month, will be very quiet and very inclusive, internally reviewing, reflecting on where you can heal. But I feel that by the end of August, that there will be a perspective. There will be a new focus. There's like a second breath of life comes in, or a second chance, or there is a hope. You can see that light at the top of the staircase or in the middle of the spiral. There's a hope that comes in by the end of this retrograde season. And so what I feel, and I'm happy to pull 2 cards to see Spirit's advice, but what I feel for Spirit's advice channeling in is really to allow yourself to get into that quiet space, to allow yourself to relax, to allow yourself to bring it down, to simplify for these, 3.5 weeks between the 4th and the 27th, to really slow down, to try not to move too quickly, and to let almost like the dust settle. And when it does, you'll really be able to see your focus. And I do feel that as you allow for some of these emotions to settle, kind of like a pot of boiling water, you can't see the bottom unless the water is calm, or the calmer the surface of the water is, the clearer it is to the bottom. So I do feel like August is coming to bring you that bit of peace so that you can have a new focus for once retrograde is over and September comes around. And so to do that, to really find peace, remember water. I know there's been a ton of water references now that I think about it. We said something about a wave at the beginning. We talked about this water analogy here, boiling water, but also make sure you're drinking water, the proper amount of water for your body. You can spend time in natural water, or even if it's, a pool or what have you, just spending time letting water help you cleanse your emotions. It can be very helpful. So that's what I feel first and foremost from Spirit. And let's pull 2 cards here for the channeled advice to how to navigate this emotional healing that's happening for you over Mercury retrograde. All right, so we've got turn on your heart light, and also owl number 2 had that, turn on your heart light. And we've got 2 more that come out. I went to pull 1, but we've got 2. So look at your pattern in relationship and treasure your loved ones. So it says it's important to love each other deeply, and it requires inner strength to recognize your own patterns. So for sure, your own patterns, in order to see that, sometimes in order to see what the pattern is, we have to just pull back and observe. We have to look at it without feeling it, without judging it, just looking for a consistency. So I do feel like that's an additional, aside from drinking your water, and to allow for this emotional healing to happen, Spirit encourages the work of looking to your patterns and whatever this grief feels connected to. Try to find this situation a pattern within it. Feel free to message me or comment if you want some guidance on how to connect this personally to your situation. But for example, let's say someone did just break up with you. This would be the easiest example to give. So let's say a relationship just ends here in August. Take a look at your previous romantic relationships and how did those relationships go? When things were good, what were the experiences that you shared? When things were hard, how were you able to handle that? And did you step outside of your comfort zone together? Were you able to work together? How did you feel navigating conflict and resolution? Was there resolution? Also, when previous connections ended, how did you care for yourself and make sure that you're taking better aligned practices moving forward for your healing? So that would be just an example of how to do this if it were, let's say, a breakup. But this is general reading, so how it connects to you is up to you. I do feel that looking to your pattern in whatever area of grief is coming up and showing up for you, look deeply into that to learn what you need to know. And what is the message that is coming through from your loved ones? Maybe your loved ones in spirit, or your, loved ones here on earth. They want to be able to give you the love that you do deserve. So I hope this helps you open up your heart. Again, Mercury retrograde is from August 4th to the 27th. And if you need help navigating this, you can just visit doitdivine.com and book a session, and we'll get to it. So I hope this helps for now, and I'm wishing you all the best blessings and love always. Take care.